We brought you many reports on South Dakota legislation that would have impacted transgender kids.
Well, tonight we're going to focus on what transgender kids themselves have to say. In this evening's Eye on KELOLAND, Dan Santella gets their perspectives on what it's like to be a young transgender person in South Dakota.
16-year-old Alex Rambo's pronouns are he and him. The high school sophomore says that he was incorrectly assigned the female sex at birth. For Rambo, it is difficult being a young transgender person in South Dakota.
It is a nightmare because we are constantly under attack with these solutions, but there is no problem. They're just making these things to make our lives just a nightmare. It's horrible going to school every day and having people just break you because you can't be who you are, and it's so uncomfortable and just, it hurts.
It leaves him not liking what others might do without a second thought.
That's why I hate going to school every day. I hate going out in public places just because of all this hate.
17-year-old Elliot Vogue graduated from high school in January. Vogue's pronouns are he and him. This is his art. He, too, says that he was incorrectly assigned the female gender at birth. He also does not have good things to say about life in the state as a young transgender person.
If you pay attention to the legislation, it's not great. Even just this year, it's been so bad with anti-transgender bills, and that's just the government part of it, I guess, of our own state government telling us that, like, hey, you're not wanted here. We don't like you. Just leave.
How someone receives you can carry a lot of weight.
I mean, there have been times where people have correctly gendered me and then realized I was transgender and went out of their way to misgender me after that. Like, it's not great.
13-year-old Chris Wilka is in 7th grade. His pronouns are he and him. He was assigned the female gender at birth.
Was that gender which you were assigned at birth, was that incorrect?
Very much so. My mom, I always, whenever like these questions come up in like interviews, I always think back to what my mom said, which was what they assigned, what may be correct for my genitalia, but it's not correct for what's between my ears.
He says to be young and transgender in South Dakota can be quite difficult.
I mean, I'm lucky, you know, to have a supporting family and have friends that mostly understand and accept me. But, you know, for some people it can be really hard. You know, they might not have what I have, and, you know, it's hard.
He shares a look into his future.
I could possibly be getting top surgery soon, and in the future, when I'm older, I'll be getting my genitalia surgery.
You speak so frankly about such personal and complex issues.
I mean, I've dealt with it, you know. I've had all these things said to me, you know. I've had people call me a disease. I've had people, you know, call me by the wrong pronouns, even though I adamantly tell them it's he and him. You know, I've had people call me a girl.
So much coverage involving the word transgender has zeroed in on legislation or politicians. Elliot, Chris, and Alex are sharing what it is like to be them, the people they are.
I think what people really need to understand is we're people like anyone else. We're just taking the extra mile to be ourselves and just live normal lives. People just need it. I love this phrase that I saw. It's, I understand that I don't understand, but I stand with you.
Spreading a message of hate and spreading such ignorance and transphobia does affect trans people one way or the other. It gets back to us by sending out a message that it's okay to treat trans people like garbage, and it's not.
We're still human. We're just like everyone else. You know, we have feelings, we have emotions, we can get angry, we can get sad, you know, we can get super excited, and we're not diseased. That's one thing that I've heard a lot. We don't have a disease.
There's a direct way to better understand someone's world, if they're up for sharing.
Talk to someone, get to know their story, because not everybody's going to be the same.
With Eye on KELOLAND, I'm Dan Santella.
For a closer look at this topic, check out a link to the transformation project that we're including in this story on KETTLELAND.com.